Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the DTM Trophy. It's Season 3. It is indeed races 1 and 2 this weekend from the gloriously sunny Lausitzring. I've been told it's going to rain today, but I tell you what, even though perhaps it's local, I'm going to tell you, I don't think it will. I think it's going to be gloriously sunny all day today. But we're here for some racing action. As you can see, some of the cars are making their way through the pits here, waiting for that green light to go live. Oh, baby, I am super, super pumped for this. You know the deal by now. It's Season 3, but it's not going to change. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you can let me know where you're watching from around the world. Let me know who you're supporting as well. There are so many new names in this championship, so many new cars, so many new colours. Oh, it is going to be fantastic. I'm telling you now, the coloured liveries here are the best yet, for sure. It's going to be a very exciting season, that is for sure. And I tell you what, I'm going to go out there on a whim. We've not even seen the cars yet live on YouTube, but I think this might be the closest season yet between multiple different drivers. As you see them all lining up then in the pits, we will go through the drivers very, very shortly. We will go through the teams. We'll be able to tell you which cars you should be looking out for, and indeed what little details of the cars you should be looking out for your favorite driver, because there are a few cars that are very similar to each other, but they have very subtle details. Apart from Mikhail Motorsport, who have two cars that are identical. The only way you can tell the difference is because one has a sticker on the bonnet and the other one doesn't. Oh, it's great to be back, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited. If you're watching on television around the world right now, you can tweet me at ActrollVision. So ACTROLL Vision, all one word, on Instagram or indeed on Twitter. Let me know who you're supporting this year. Let me know where you're watching from around the world. Oh, let's get excited. It is going to be really good indeed. Say lots of new names and then some old names. Fulgencio, Def Fulgencio back in the DTM Trophy after, well, appearing very momentarily last season, but he was in a full season in season number 1 and actually finished 3rd in the junior category. We don't have the junior category anymore, do we? Neither do we have the XP. We have a official on their own championship. The individual championship is the word I was looking for, and we also have a team championship. So where are people watching from then? We've got Ricky, who's watching from Australia, supporting Capo. We've got German Hotmeyer watching from Argentina. We've got Felt Hat, who is Forza Moritz. Moritz Lerner fan there for sure. We've got BWT Magnesium Water. There's the BWT Mercs. Yes, they're here in all of their pink glory for sure. Watching from Germany is Horst Horstmann, what a name. I was at the Lausitzring in 2001 when Zanardi had that crash. Oh yes, I was told about that this morning because the commentator I was traveling with was here that day, and yeah, that's not the nicest memory of the circuit, that is for sure. Fabrizio Montes, how you doing? Welcome. Hope you're good. Keep it sideways. Welcome. We've got Juan Ramirez from Utah. Lots of Americans in the championship this season. It's going to be so interesting. Patrick Harding, great to see you as well. Oh, it's going to be good. Right, shall we go through some of the drivers here, shall we? Just before we go green, we've got about 1 minute 30 seconds before we do indeed go green. So I'm just going to run through all of our drivers very, very quickly, not in any particular order. We've got the number 26 from Australia, Ricky Capo. He is in a blue Porsche, and the only difference between him and his teammate is the wing mirrors. It's bright yellow on his, so keep an eye out for Capo in the number 26 with the yellow wing mirrors. Then we've got his teammate, Daniel Gregor, who, from some of the drivers, is one of the favourites to go out and win this championship already without even seeing them out on circuit. So yeah, interesting to see there. And it's a blue Porsche with blue wing mirrors. So yeah, the difference between the two Porsche for that team specifically is yellow and blue wing mirrors. Then we have got Matthias Salonen, who raced last season for CV Performance. He's racing this season in a blue Audi with orange wing mirrors. So that is who Matthias Salonen is indeed racing with, the Audi, in for T3 Motorsport. So moving teams this season. And then we have JP Southern also racing for the T3 Motorsport outfit, and he is in the black Audi with the gold wing mirrors. It's black and gold. It is one of the most beautiful cars I feel I've ever seen. Theo Overhaus, the youngest ever winner in the DTM Trophy, 16 years old last season, and that actually has a chance to be beaten by multiple different drivers this season. It is a very young grid indeed. He is indeed in his usual car. The number 34, it is white with a bit of red trim there there, but mostly white. But yeah, expect to see him right up the sharp end. This guy is one of the most talented drivers in GT racing, for sure. He's got a massive future ahead of him. Tim Heinemann, Season 1 champion. He's back. He's in the Seoul Toyota. So he's racing for Ring Racing today, or this season. So he's in the only Toyota on the grid this season. And then we have Jacob Regal in the black and gold Aston Martin. And the difference between him and his teammate, Nick Hanker, is that he has turquoise wing mirrors, or like a light green, and it's yellow wing mirrors for Nick Hanker, but like turquoise and yellow trim around the car. Next driver then will be Sterian Folev. We saw him last season for 2 races, but he is back for a full season this season. He's in a blue, black, white BMW. So it's blue at the back, white at the front, BMW. As we see already on our screen, Nick Hanker in that number 99, Speed Monkeys team with the Aston Martin. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I am so excited for this. It's just, yeah, I've been waiting for this for a long time. Mark de Fulgencio, he's in a black and white medium marked car. So remember last season, Moritz Lerner was in the BMW M4 in the red and white medium marked car. Well, there's a black and white one this season as well, and Mark de Fulgencio is in that car. Moritz Lerner is in the number 11 in the medium marked car, as you will already know. Then we've got Jordan Wallace, who is in the Zebra BMW. You'll see that. It's white with zebra stripes all over it. It looks like a test livery from maybe like a Red Bull car for Formula One. It's very funky indeed. Whether it's going to be a full-time livery or not, who knows? But we will find out across the season for sure. There's a few Thiago Vivacqua fans in the chat. I can assure you of that. He is in the number 31 this season from Brazil, and he is indeed in the white, red, and blue Audi. So he is in a red, white, red, and blue Audi. We've got Sophie Hoffman back for another season in the blue and yellow Audi. Very similar to last season's livery, a little bit different, but very similar. In the number 48, keep an eye on the number 48. Mikhail Patamba, who is a national karting champion. He is in the gold and purple Audi as well. So yeah, that is interesting to see 3 drivers there in the Heinemann Motorsport outfit. There's Mark de Fulgencio. And well, as we see the black and white media marked car, we then see the red and white as well. Alexandre Papadopoulos is in the blue black AMG, the only AMG on the grid actually. But no, sorry, there's 3 of them, isn't there? Of course, because we have the Muka Motorsport, the BWT Muka Motorsport outfit. Eduard Kauhalp is in the number 18, and then we have indeed Almeida in the number 19. The only difference between the 2 of them is that we have Almeida, who has no sticker on the bonnet, and then we have Kauhalp, who has a sticker on the bonnet. I know, it's very difficult indeed for me. But it's my job. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do my very best here. We're going to learn the cars this weekend, and then the rest of the season should be an absolute doddle. We know what it's like, though, for the DTM Trophy. It takes a couple of laps for them to warm their tyres up. We don't really see a massive representation in the first week either as well. We very rarely do we see people do exceptionally well in week 1 and then absolutely dominate throughout the season. So who knows? Apart from if your name is Tim Heinemann, who's there on your screen. In the number 90, Nico Verdonk was racing in that car last season. Remember, he finished 3rd in the championship. Well, this season, Tim Heinemann is a DTM Trophy champion. He won the championship season number 1. He was the most dominant driver we've ever had. He's got the most race wins we've ever had. An incredibly talented driver. It didn't quite work out for him last season with pro racing, but it is what it is. As you can see, Thea Overhaus then, who was unbelievable in the final 2 rounds of the BMW M2 Cup. He managed to get 4 race victories. Like, he is ridiculously talented. He's a very young man, but he will showcase his skill set this season. I 100% guarantee it. First time in the books then. Papadopoulos is there with a 145.727. The American up this front there with the Selaz Racing Team SRT. As Salon then momentarily goes second. Moritz Lerner goes into 3rd spot then, and now he's just been pushed down as De Fulgencio moves up into 2nd spot. 45.766. It's only 400ths already separating the front 2. It's close. And then we've got Jordan Wallace in P4 in the number 23 for the FK Performance Motorsport. They have 4 drivers. So this season is a little bit different to what we've had previously. We have a team championship. Only the top 2 drivers of each race will count, though. So if you're Tim Heinemann, you've only got 1 driver, so you're in trouble already. But for teams like FK Performance Motorsport, Heider Motorsport, they've got more than the 2 drivers. So it's only the top 2 that can score points for the championship position. So that is basically the team championship. It's as simple as that. Def Fulgencio going very quickly there. Purple, middle, or first sector, shall I say. He's in the middle of Moritz Lohner and Papadopoulos on our screens there. And that's what you're looking for. Look at the sector times. As you can see, there's green, there's grey, and purple, all represented there in the bottom of your screen. Green means their personal best. Grey, ignore it, it's slow. Purple means it's the quickest out of everybody out there. And Fulgencio has just gone, well, he's gone quickest through sector number 1 and his personal best through sector number 2. It's a very quick time here. So we're on board with Papadopoulos. Not a great sector 2, a very good sector number 1, though. He's currently in second, although, because Almeida in the BWT Muka Motorsport number 19 is P1. It's by half a tenth, but then Papadopoulos puts himself up into P1 now. It's by 0.3 of a second. We're going to see this tumble and tumble and tumble as we're about to see Fulgencio come across the line. Or do we? Yeah, Fulgencio is in behind Moritz Lohner here. We've got a 63, the 66. We've got an Audi. We've got an Aston Martin. We've got 2 BMWs. Fulgencio goes quickest. Moritz Lohner is now second fastest. And that is a mammoth time already. Fulgencio, 0.8 of a second clear of Moritz Lohner. Salonen currently in P3. Regal moves up to P4. Papadopoulos then all of a sudden down to P5. Folev has just put himself up into a top 6 here. Again, the times are massively different from the faster times to the slowest times. We saw that in free practice 1 earlier on, so we can't really read overly too much into this as we're on board then with Almeida in that number 19. Oh, looks so pretty in pink. Around that final corner we will go. Across that timing beam, it's very quick first and second sector for himself. His personal best, should I say, 3 personal best sectors, and that will absolutely put you the fastest as it stands. It is a 1:44.179, and if we look at the top of the timesheets, it's BWT Muka Motorsport, FK Performance, now Toyota Gazoo Racing, and T3 Motorsport. 4 different teams as your top 4 as it stands, as Southern has moved up then into P4. Wow, okay, things are starting to get a little bit fruity here now, aren't they? JP Southern in that number 77 up into P4. Times separated, we're about 0.7 of a second, just under 0.7 of a second between that front 4. It is all closing up nicely. Moritz Lohner is indeed, well, he's purple through sector number 1. He's green in sector number 2. Tim Heinemann's going faster through sector 1. Folev is quicker everywhere. Everybody's quicker here at the Lausitzring, and that is going to continue. That is a trend that will continue for the next 32 minutes. I'm going to try and not be so excited here, but it just is so difficult. I love this championship. It's so exciting as Lohner goes third. He's held up there for sure. Salonen, by the way, didn't have a great season last season. I'm not sure he really suited the AMG, to be completely fair. But now he's in the Audi, is within 0.3 of a second of Almeida. And again, the times will get closer. Look at how close they are, though. Right now, the top 5 separated by, what, 2.5 tenths in our second session of the year. We're not even qualifying yet, and it's this close. This could be very, very interesting indeed. As oh, hello, all the Brazilians are absolutely getting excited here because Vivacqua has just got up and put it as fastest of the session. For Heinemann Motorsport, a 1:44.105. It's not by a lot, but it's by enough. That is for sure. As Tim Heinemann rounds that final corner here, currently up in Sector 1 and Sector 2 of his personal best in that number 90. Of course, no stranger to winning in the DTM Trophy. A champion of all hell, low. Put it as the fastest time because Almeida actually went momentarily quickest, but Tim Heinemann retakes it. Oh, the times are a-tumbling here, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Lausitzring on this glorious sunny Friday. I'm already running out of puff here, and it's Friday. We've not even got any of the main sessions of qualifying and the races as of yet. Oh, baby, baby, baby. This is going to be good. Up 4 spots then for Fulgencio. Oh, look at this. Look at the graphics. Oh, there's just so much information here. So much information. But as it stands, wow, Cowhelp has just gone and put himself up into P1. P1 for the BWT Muka Motorsport driver, the number 18. The pink car is the quickest by nearly half a second. So already we are seeing some exceptional times being produced here. Let's just wind it back ever so slightly, shall we? Let's just wind it in ever so slightly. Let's get involved with the YouTube chat. Let's see if anyone has got anything to say. Let me know in the chat where you're watching from right now. Let me know who indeed you're supporting. And maybe you're not supporting anybody. Maybe you're just here to enjoy the delights, the delicious delights of some racing action. So here we go then, up towards the line. So number 77, that's JP Southern there, trying to potentially move up some positions here. As Almeida, who was the fastest, is 4th quickest now. Not a good middle sector, but is it good enough to improve a position, though? Not so much. JP Southern moves up, but he actually gains 9/10 of a second. P9 now for the American. Moritz Lohner, by the way, is purple through sector number 1. And remember, was held up on his fastest attempt. He went faster earlier, but ultimately did not manage to go through with it. Gregor, again, people in the garage's favourite. Moritz Lohner said that Gregor is probably favourite to win the championship. He'd say one of the favourites to win the championship. So currently up to P7 as Heinemann now goes within 600ths of Cowhelp. We've got Fulgencio that, well, momentarily went 3/10 within, just over 3/10 beyond Cowhelp's time. But again, another incredible time there by Cowhelp. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I'll go and ask him this afternoon. It's the one driver I've not been able to speak to today. So we'll make sure we get all of that sorted out. The race will be on YouTube, Matt Bradley. Yes, it will. 100%. So yes, tomorrow, all of the streams are already up, ladies and gentlemen, on the DTM. Subscribe to DTM, but all of the streams are there ready to be waited on. So you can go in there right now and wait, if you want, for the next, 24 hours. So Moritz Lohner across the line, only good enough to go 5th fastest as it stands. So really, really interesting here. As Henkefend has just gone up into third position. Yes, the number 13 for Project 1 is up into 3rd spot. Wow, this is bananas as a session. It really is bananas as a session. Matt Bradley's from England. Nice to see. Welcome. Just came for the commentary. Patrick, you've got to stop it. You've got to stop it. There's so many Patricks here. Hello, Patrick, on its own, Patrick. We've got AVRN watching from Northern Ireland. Welcome. Milan Schutten. He's a Colin Karasani fan. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. So Patamba is the 20th time so far. Around about 2.4 seconds off the pace, but I have a suspicion that we will see Patamba be very, very fast during this season. Again, a national karting champion for South Africa. Has all the pedigree in the world. Lots of young drivers getting an opportunity here. It's Capo! No Capo is up to P2 for the KUS Team Bernard outfit. So there we go. Cowhelp, Capo, P1, P2 as it stands. Heinemann is in P3. Around about 6/10 of a second off the pace here. Everybody now really is going to start to put in some flyers here. The gaps are coming down then. The gaps are absolutely coming down as Henkefend moves up into P3. 4/10 of a second. Salonen up to 6th position now. 9/10 of a second off of the pace as it stands. Gregor, fastest of his own personal best through Sector 1 and Sector 2. Now through the most, the tight, twisty section here, the most technical part of the circuit. Again, the cameras do not do it justice as to how narrow this part of the circuit is. Around the final corners, we indeed will come. Now we have to switch left, and it is a long run towards that line. Are we going to see a potential P1 time here? Gregor currently, actually down into P14, so needs to find a hell of a lot of time here. Across the line he will go, and it's good enough to go up to P7, but again, not the greatest sector number 3. A lot of drivers I saw earlier on as well were braking or letting off the gas before the line as well. So there's been sandbagging through the entirety of today. Session 1 and now Session 2 as well. Cowhelp, though, as it stands, is still the fastest out there. 800ths of a second clear of Capo. Vivacqua is in P3 then, as we are... Oh, hello. That's certainly not where you need to be. That's for sure. It looks cool. I'm not going to lie. It looks really cool. But I can assure you it's not fast. That's Capo there. P2 as it stands, giving us a bit of rallycross action. Moritz Lohner. This is grey. This is not a good lap time here at all. Maybe setting up for something. There's a Salonen using the slipstream from that BMW for his Audi. The big blue Audi in behind there. You can see Salonen's car. Maxwell Hartman watching from Miami in Florida. Nice. Welcome. And remember, if you want to get yourselves involved on social media, if you're watching on other forms, maybe on television around the world, you can tweet me or send me an Instagram message at @ActroVision. Plenty of racing action coming your way this weekend. We have got ourselves DTM. We've got BMW M2 Championship as well. We've got ourselves DTM Classic. And of course, for me, the main event is DTM Trophy. I know that people love DTM, but DTM Trophy, oh, it's a glorious championship. You should absolutely tune in. If you've not tuned in before, if you're thinking, what is this? Oh, you are early. This is Free Practice 2 for rounds 1 and 2. We've got both races this weekend. The races will indeed be 3:15 local time. So in the UK, that'll be 2:15. Eastern time, that will be 9:15 in the morning for Americans. Hopefully that does help you. If you're in Australia, I can't help you there. I'm sure someone in the chat will be able to figure that out. But you should genuinely come and check this out this weekend. You will not be disappointed. I can assure you of that. So we are heading up towards the halfway point. 24 minutes. I'm just going to have a little sip of water here because, oh boy, this has been far too exciting for a free practice session. 1:42.920 then is the fastest time as it stands. As we're about to see Karasani come across the line here. It's it's a grey, sector 1 and sector 2. And well, it's P6, so half a second. It's a grey apparently, but it's still a very good time. Everybody separated by not a lot at this stage. So I'm sure the two Audis at the background here. Theo Uverhaus, I'm sure he's going to find some more pace. We know he's capable of being right up there, to be completely honest. Whether or not he is potentially sandbagging at this stage, I don't know, to be honest. As Fulgencio has just pulled over to the side of an Aston Martin that is just pulling over to the side here. It's kind of the midway of the session here, so where a lot of cars are going to be coming into the pits here. I can see the pits just below me, and yeah, I can see a lot of them coming in, and a lot of people going slow here. Actually, that's a very slow BMW right there. That is, I think, Theo Uverhaus as well. Almeida goes up to P3. Oh no, that is not Theo Uverhaus. So that's the number 47 there. That is Karasani then. So Karasani not having a good time here at all. That looks a very sick BMW, and not down with a kid's sick. Whereabouts on circuit are they? Coming down towards that long-winded right-handed hairpin. It's a long way to get back to the pits if it's a serious problem, but I'm sure if they were chucking out oil or hydraulic oil or anything that's going to do some serious damage to the car, then it would be a case of wouldn't be just parking it on the side of the road and getting towed back. But hopefully that's a minimal issue. We've got nothing to be too worried about. It's Moritz Lohner, who's gone grey through sector 1, green through sector number 2, and grey through sector number 3. P10 then for Moritz, 7/10 of a second off. The top 14 separated here by less than a second. It's free practice. I remember from last season, and indeed the season before, that the distances in free practice were quite big. I would say the top 10 was separated by maybe 2.5 seconds. This season, everybody is very close. I am super excited for this. Oh, Horst Horstman. Controversial statement. To me, the BWT livery could one day be as iconic as the Golf one. I have to agree, my friend. I have to agree. It doesn't matter what car it goes on. It does look beautiful. You just know exactly straight away what, who the sponsor is. It's one of those liveries just really sticks out for me personally. I 100% agree. Fulgencio here, currently in P12. So good to see two media marked cars there. Nice to see that they've gone for different colours as well. Again, another really nice livery. And I think, again, for this season, this is the best we've ever had in terms of liveries. I feel like the liveries are on absolute point for the season, for sure. So the track temperature is very hot. Moritz Lohner earlier on was telling me that there's just no grip out there. They've had DTM Classics go out now. They've had DTM go out there now. They've had the M2s were out before them. We've had a Red Bull 2-seater Formula 1 car go out there. So the track definitely would have evolved a touch. There'll be a little bit more grip there, especially through turn number 1. And yeah, it's now all about really being brave. But don't be too brave. There's no need to in this session here. They know the track's going to evolve even more so, unless it does rain. Like, we're supposed to get rain in 20 minutes time, I was told. I don't think we will, to be honest. But if we do get rain maybe overnight, then of course then it resets the evolution of the circuit. So yeah, you don't really want to be pushing too hard here, because it's going to be completely different for me tomorrow. I think it will be completely different. NHJ supporting Vivacqua. Nice. Viva Vivacqua. That's the hashtag, ladies and gentlemen. Viva Vivacqua, for sure, needs to be a hashtag. You can have it for free, it's fine. Pretty much horsed horseman. It is an oval circuit. This was actually used when IndyCar came over to Europe for a couple of seasons. Do you know what? If you are into your ovals, it's very reminiscent of Pocono Speedway. Is the Lausitzring. So it's not like an oval. It's kind of like a triangle, if more than an oval. But yeah, it's a little bit like Pocono Speedway. If you know your iRacing, that's probably the best way to explain it. But yeah, it has an infield, and the infield, it's a very long lap here, actually. It's a very long lap. We're over the halfway point already here. It's flying by. Calhaupt leads the way then in P1. We've got Capo in second, Almeida third. Viva Vivacqua is in P4. We've then got Matthias Salonen in P5. We've then got Henkefend in P6. Karasani, who's got a very sick looking BMW and a knockdown with a kid sick, just is not looking too great, unfortunately, in 7th. And then we've got Gregor in 8th position, who's on an outlap right now, same as Tim Heinemann, who is, of course, our inaugural champion. Moritz Lohner has just gone a little bit faster here. It's still only good enough for P10, though. Hanka in P11. De Fulgencio, P12. We've got Southern and Wallace in 13th and 14th position. Folev, Papadopoulos. And we've then got Regal, Uverhaus, Hoffman, and Patamba. And I'll tell you what, Uverhaus, for me, that's the biggest shock here, that Uverhaus is not higher than where he is. Of course, our youngest ever winner last year at the Hockenheimring. The guy has got bags of talent, very, very young. I'm expecting just a little bit more, I would say. Zico, I'm watching the stream right now, my friend. I like to get all of you YouTube viewers involved, people watching at home on television as well. You can absolutely get involved. So the only way you can chat to me if you're watching on TV right now is you go to @TrollVision on Twitter or indeed on Instagram. And you can send me a DM or you can send me a tweet or what you need to do, ask any questions. But if you're watching on YouTube right now, I will answer as many questions as I possibly can. I always love to see people shouting out their favorite driver, shouting out where they're from. I love to see it. There's a few people in here that have been watching this for 3 seasons, like I've been involved with, and they will tell you, oh, I'll give you a shout out. Don't you worry about that. We will have a nice little conversation together. Oh, I need you guys. You're like my co-commentators. We love it. We're a team. I'm just as excited as you, and as maybe not as the drivers. They are. I saw them. They were like a box of frogs. Those drivers this morning. They were so excited. You imagine a box of frogs. You try and control that. They were super excited. Moritz Lohner still coming out. I think he's just going for a long run here, isn't he? He's more on a race set here, I would say, in my opinion. So Samuli supporting Salonen for the season. Lovely chap. I haven't spoken to him today, but got to speak to him last season at the end of the season. And really nice that he's got another chance this season as well. Again, I just don't think the AMG suited him really last season. He seems to have absolutely hit the ground running with the Audi this season. Has Salonen. As Regal is, well, green, and Aston Martin here in the rearview mirror of Tim Heinemann, who drove an Aston Martin last season. As Tim Heinemann is absolutely finding the limits there in the Weetabix. Off the circuit he goes, kicks up a load of dust. It's not Mario Kart Tim Heinemann. You can't try and disguise yourself so that the car behind can't see you. He will find you. And Regal is absolutely flying here. A great middle sector from Heinemann, even with that mistake here. Lohner again, I think, is doing long run. He's on the old set of tyres. Around that final curve, we will come. Heinemann's about to go fast, I think. I think he's about to go very, very fast here. And he indeed, well, no, it isn't quick. He's P9 and Regal only P13. So Regal is finding a bit of form. So we're about to see the mistake here. There's the curb, there's the AstroTurf, and we're going to go beyond both of those. And we're going to head off into that gravel. Off we come back on. Good Toyota. It's all good. It's like a happy dog. As across the line, there's Moritz Lohner. He's about to come across the line. Well, Matt Bradley's got a younger 9-year-old brother. Didn't give the name, but we'll shout out to Matt Bradley's younger brother. He's off school today. Must be not very well. But you're checking out the championship. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. Fulgencio. P12 as it stands. We'll be expecting a little bit more for sure. So one of the OGs, P3 in our junior championship in season 1. Did a guest appearance last season. But yeah, never really hit the dizzy heights as of yet. I'm sure we're going to see more from him across this season as the Spaniard. So Fulgencio still, he's gone grey, hasn't he, through the sectors here. We've got Regal just in behind Heinemann. You know that if you're keeping up with Heinemann, you're in a good spot because that guy has won the most races in the history of DTM Trophy. So you know you're going to be there or thereabouts, for sure. So many new names. Toyota does sound like a good dog name, I have to agree. Good boy, Toyota. Tim Heinemann, still P9. Regal, still P13. Moritz Lohner again, just this is 100% there, doing the long runs. Shout out to the sim racers out there. As you can see the VRS logo on the side of his car. If you want some iRacing setups, some coaching, that's where to head. So it's still Cowhelp then that leads the way. Oh, I tell you, he's had a quicker time. Didn't even notice that. 42.798, the first 42 of the season. And then we've got, indeed, Capo with a 43.005. Absolutely as close as you can get to being into the 42s. We'll see that change. Again, they're normally around about a second faster in qualifying than they are in free practice. Normally a second to 2 seconds. So expect them to get down to maybe the 41s tomorrow. Definitely the 41s, I would say, actually. Maybe, just maybe, a 40. As Gregor comes across the line in the number 25, it's P8 then still for him. Still in P8 then for him. Let's get a look at that KUS Porsche. Beautiful car. Again, you can tell the difference between him and his teammate because he's got blue wing mirrors. His teammate has bright yellow ones. So they've got very similar liveries, very similar to BWT Muka Motorsport. They have identical cars. Wing mirrors are the same color as well. But there's the lack of a sticker on the bonnet, as two BMWs are unfortunately done here. Karasani's one of them. Karasani is out of this session. So we're on board with Folev. Folev actually was a guest driver, the Bulgarian, last season. As he rounds the long-winded right-hander, runs out very wide there. You just can't afford to run any wider than that because the camber just disappears and you run easily off into the gravel on the exit of this corner. So you need to make sure that you keep it nice and tight through there. Again, you can run out wide on entry, but on exit, you just cannot afford to be on. It's like a little ledge. It goes from cambered, which helps you turn the corner with the car, and then onto a ledge. And then once you get onto that ledge, you just run out of grip and you'll run out wide. You'll lose so much time as well. You lose so much time as Matthias Salonen is coming around that final corner. I'm talking of cars that look like dogs. Like the Audi looks like a really happy puppy. Really does. Salonen across the line then. P5 still for him. And again, this is impressive. This is really impressive here from Salonen. Really showcasing why he's in the championship. Again, last season just didn't really go well. Didn't go too well. And maybe that year of experience really has helped. And also, he's in the shadow of Will Tregurtha, who potentially could have won the championship. Went down to the final race. There was 3 points between Ben Green and Will Tregurtha. Will Tregurtha was leading, and Ben Green had to overtake him in one of the best endings to a championship season of all time. No shenanigans, no taking each other off track. It was perfect. So, yeah, and unfortunately, Salonen was kind of second fiddle in that team because Will Tregurtha was just so relentless in his performance. So this season, coming out of that shadow, maybe, just maybe, it's an opportunity for the T3 Motorsport driver. Although he's got Southern in P7, so only a couple of positions behind. So it's going to be an inner battle within that team for sure as well. As we are actually on board then with JP Southern. We're about to come around that final corner. It's grey for Sector 1 and Sector 2, so not expecting to see this to be the most incredibly quickest time in the world here. Again, another driver that might be doing more of a longer run. It's still P7. Still P7. Nice try, Michael Hills. Nice try. Got to wake up pretty early, my friend. Got to wake up a lot earlier. So Cowhelp still leads the way then, a 42.798. I'm not sure we're going to see that time beaten, to be completely honest now. I feel like we are just going to see drivers go for more of a long run, more of a race sim. As I've just seen below me, Tim Heinemann is actually coming out of the pits. Maybe there's one last chance for a quali dash for a couple of these drivers. It is all or nothing right now. There's no more practice sessions. That is it. It is off to the races tomorrow. So that is it. Qualifying and race. Qualifying and race for tomorrow and Sunday. Fulgencio in that gold and... Well, no, that wasn't Fulgencio, was it? Fulgencio's in a BMW. He's in the medium arc BMW. There is our quickest time, Cowhelp. He's the one who has the sticker on the front of the car. Again, if you looked at Almeida's car, you'd see they look exactly the same, minus the sticker on the front. Any times potentially coming in? Most people are in the pits now. Heinemann's on an outlap. Lona's on an outlap. Fulgencio still out on circuit. Capo, Almeida, Viva Vavacqua is out on circuit. We've got Salonen in 5th position. We've got JP Southern then out in 7th. He's still out on circuit there as well. Fulgencio, Regal, Papadopoulos, and Hoffman. Sophie Hoffman is also out on circuit. And she was slowly getting faster as well. 2.1 second off the pace as it stands. Oh, it's hot here, Horst. It is hot. This is not, I can't deal with this kind of heat. It feels like I'm in the Mediterranean. I didn't realize that Germany had moved to the Mediterranean. But it would appear this weekend it has. It is Scorchio. Scorchio here in the Dresden area. That's where I'm staying, in Dresden. As we're still on board with Capo then in the Porsche. Lead Porsche. As Gregor is only P9, but on an outlap. How many of these drivers are sandbagging, though? That's the question. 0.8 of a second separates the top 14. How many of these drivers are sandbagging? Let's be honest. When it comes to qualifying tomorrow, it's probably going to be a completely different order. Yeah, anyone going to be here this weekend? I've got the shorts, Zach. I'm not sure I could pull off a tank top. It's Capo again across the line. Capo's just doing long runs here. The fact that he's just getting lap in. 0.2 of a second. He knows his pace is good to be running at the sharp end of this DTM Trophy grid. Now just getting laps under the belt. Same as Fulgencio. He's doing the same. Regal is P14 and didn't go faster, just crossed the line. Outlaps now for Gregor, Hanker, Wallace, Hoffman and Patamba. So Patamba is actually just gone out for his outlap there, Kyler. So just out on the outlap now, and has just crossed the line to start a flying lap here, as we're on board with Almeida. Almeida currently third, 0.3 of a second off the pace, a very quick first sector. Second sector, not so much. Tim Heinemann, grey. I think the track's evolved here, guys. I think the heat in the track has really halted any progress of beating Cowhelp's time. And that's something we are going to see across this whole weekend. It might get a little bit too hot for us to see lightning time. So this might be the first time in the DTM Trophy lifespan that we might see the times go slower as the weekend goes on. I just feel like this track is going to get baked for sure. Remember, Lausitzring is actually home to the fastest marshals in the world. When they run, that's for sure. Cowhelp, by the way, is now on an outlap as well here with 5 minutes, 30 seconds to go. So maybe about to rub salt into the wounds of everybody else and absolutely showcase the skill set that maybe other people are going to strive for. Patamba is on a lap time. Fulgencio, Capo, all on lap times here. Capo across the line, still P2, no improvement on that time. and actually was 1.4 seconds off of the pace. Fulgencio, again, grey. You can tell by the sector times that it's not going to be a quick lap. This is all about now the endurance side of things, getting as many laps under your belt as possible, trying to be consistent, trying to be within a couple of tenths of a second of your previous lap. No time to be deleted here, no track limits either. DTM Trophy drivers not getting penalised for track limits. I never thought I would see the day. We've gone from season 1 at Spa, where they all got pulled in at qualifying session by the race director and were told off like naughty schoolboys and schoolgirls, literally live on broadcast in the pit lane, to last season, there were so many penalties in the first half of the season, it was mind-blowing. To this season, not one driver has gone beyond the track limits. DTM Trophy drivers, take a bow. Well done. That is fantastic to see. So Cahab still leads the way here, about 0.2 of a second, 4 minutes to go. Heinemann, I thought, might be coming out here to do some quick laps, but doesn't look like that is the case, to be honest. So hopefully you will join us for the rest of this weekend. As here we go, here's Regal, the number 63. Representing Team Speed Monkeys. What a team name that is. Their two cars are very, very nice to look at as well. Beautiful, beautiful machinery. Fulgencio has just gone and put in his best Sector 1. So maybe there's a late dash here to find some time. Low fuel, for sure. And wow, what's your favourite livery, guys and girls, in the chat? Watching right now on YouTube, let me know in the chat. What's your favourite livery from this season? I feel like we've got the best paint schemes we've ever had in this championship. As Moritz Lohner's gone quickest through Sector 2. Fulgencio will stay P11. Moritz Lohner, I think, might be about to, well, get a bit involved with that top 10 again. He's currently in 12th position. Again, it's still 0.8 of a second separating the top 14. We've got Jordan Wallace, who's not far off. Papadopoulos, Alexandre Papadopoulos is in P16 as it stands. Folev, Uverhouse then in 17th and 18th. We've got Sophie Hoffman, and then we've got Mikhail Patamba as your 20th driver for this week. Here we go then, across the line for Moritz Lohner. How quick do you want to go? It's only good enough to stay in P12 as it stands. We've got Hanka, who was going a little bit faster. Hanka's currently in P13 for the other Speed Monkeys car. And the middle sector wasn't as good, unfortunately, as we've got 2 minutes left on the clock. 2 laps remaining for these drivers crossing the line as it stands. So we have got Zach Morgan, he thinks the BWT livery. I think there's going to be a lot of favourites for that, for sure. Daniel Chaplin, in a way, has also said the same. We're about to watch Hanka come across the line. Here we go. So this is the difference between the two cars. It's got bright yellow trim, whereas the other one is turquoise. Hanka then is still P13. So not finding any more time. There's Sophie Hoffman just in behind as well. Calhalp not going any faster. I think the track's developed sufficiently enough here for them to not be able to go quicker now. I think that is kind of done and dusted, ladies and gentle cars. Across the line, there's Gregor in the Porsche. Up ahead of him was Theo Uverhouse in the number 34. And again, Theo Uverhouse has been the one shock for me. I was expecting to see him right up the sharp end of the grid. Not so much, as Calhab has just crossed the line, did not improve on his time. Certainly is. There's another Patrick. It's the day of the Patrick. Patrick Farrow joins the chat. Honestly, I think it's the same guy with 17 YouTube accounts at this point. Yeah, Jordan Wallace's car is beautiful. Really, really nice. There's Heinemann. Oh, that's an issue. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy. Here we go. You love to see it. Season 1 champion. Bit of side-by-side. I'm not opposed to it, for sure. 26 seconds left on the clock. Both of these drivers now, the next lap will absolutely not be quick because they're going to be fighting each other in towards turn number 1. Will the AMG decide to make a move here? no, backs out of the whole situation. Doesn't want to get involved at all. Currently P3 is Almeida, to be fair. Doesn't need to be doing too much. 0.3 of a second off of what Cal has produced. And doesn't, yeah, this is a case of bring the car in now, don't get involved. I'm sure the team boss would have been on the old horn and be like, no, Almeida, we'll save that till tomorrow. And he would be like, okay, sorry, yeah, of course, boss, my bad. As Matthias Salonen has gone fastest of his own personal best through sector number 1. Let's keep an eye on Salonen, that is for sure. See whether he is going to find some magic here at the end of the session. Salonen does not go any faster through sector number 2. So that's a grey sector, which is not ideal. If you come into the pits now, you're done. The checker flag next to their name means their session is over. As across the line comes Folev. Should get the checkered flag. There we go. Checker flag moves up 1 position. Papadopoulos now moves into 17th position in the Mercedes AMG. So Folev guest drive last season. Race twice. Managed to get P8 in a race. So that's one of his grandest achievements. Fair play. Fair play. As Southern, maybe about to produce something magical here in that number 77 car. Currently resides in P6, half a second off the pace. And are we about to find something at the death here that puts all Audi fans into raptures? Across the line we will go. The number 77, the last car to cross the line. Is it quicker? Is it quicker? I'm not sure it is. Oh, it is. It is quicker. It's not enough, unfortunately, for him to get past hashtag Viva Vivacqua. But that is the end of free practice 2, ladies and gentlemen. And Cowhalp does take the spoils here and will go into tomorrow's session as favourite for the BWT Muka Motorsport team. Remember, it's not just an individual championship this season. There is a team championship as well, where your top 2 drivers will indeed score points. Cowhalp P1, Capo P2, Almeida in 3rd spot. We've got Salonen in 4th. Viva Vivacqua is in 5th position. We've then got JP Southern in 6th position. We've got Henkefend. And then in 7th, we've then got Karasani in 8th, Gregor in 9th. And then rounding out your top 10, it's Season 1 champion, Tim Heinemann in the Seoul Toyota. And well, that is the end of free practice 2, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you tomorrow for qualifying and for the race. Oh, it's good to be back here at the Lausitzring.